Ron.
Okay, thank you, John. Call the Board of Aldermen meeting to order for the City of Warrenton on Tuesday, May 6, 2014. At this time, if everyone would stand to face the flag, we'll have the pledge by Antony Polly will lead us.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, John. First item on the agenda is the approval of minutes on the regular board meeting minutes from April 15, 2014. Any corrections or additions to the minutes? If not, I'll entertain a motion.
I make a motion that we approve the board meeting minutes from April 15th, 2014.
Second.
Motion made by Alderman Casserly, seconded by Alderman Dreyer to approve the regular board meeting minutes from April 15, 2014. Do you have a roll call, please?
Alderman Dreyer?
Yes.
Alderman Sluter?
Yes.
Alderman Holly? Yes. Alderperson Casserly?
Yes.
Alderman Ock?
Yes.
Alderman Clark?
Yes.
Motion carried 6-0. Item 4 on the agenda is hearing from the public. At this time, we asked anyone that wants to address the board to come forward, state the nature of your business. We limit your remarks to 5 minutes or less. So if someone wants to speak to the board, do so at this time. For the record, Ron, would you give us your name?
Yes. Mr. Mayor, Alderman, my name is Ron Dickey, and I live at 20 Hawthorne Hill Drive. I was mowing the dam next to my house this afternoon, and I saw a town truck over on the other street over in Buckhorn Court. So I drove over, and they were cleaning the street out for the cinders that had been there. And I told them that I had several over on my side of the cul-de-sac, and they said no problem, they were finishing up there, and they'd be right over. And it wasn't long, they come over, and they cleaned Hawthorne Hills Drive from the top clear down to the cul-de-sac. And that cul-de-sac catches everything, the whole length of that road anyway. Done a heck of a job. They did the town proud, and I'm tickled to death, and I think they're doing a great job, and I'd like for you to pass that on to their supervisors. And there was a guy and a gal, don't know their names, but they did a heck of a job, and I'm very pleased. I'd like to get them to come over and clean it out of the house now that we tracked in all that.
I could use them there as well. We'll pass that along to Mr. Gavers. He'll be happy to hear that. And we thank you for the comments. We're always happy to get positive comments, so we appreciate that. So, anybody else like to address the board? You're welcome to come forward at this time. If not, we will extend that same courtesy to the Board of Aldermen members. If anyone on the board wants to address the public, do so at this time. And I think I'll start with Alderman Dreyer on this end first. Any comments? Alderman Sluter?
None of this.
Alderman Hawley?
Nothing, thank you.
Alderman Casserly?
No.
Nothing.
Nothing? Alderman Clark?
The only thing, I imagine the chief is going to announce it again, but isn't the torch run coming up in a week or two?
20th of May.
20th May, and you got T-shirts out there for sale to help raise money for it?
We do.
And you get them at the police?
At the police department.
Okay, that's all I have.
Okay.
30-second announcement.
On the mayor's report, I have a few things I want to run by make sure the board's aware of it and the public as well. We are on the agenda for the school board for Thursday night at 7:30. I've invited any of the board members that want to attend to come along. We're negotiating with the school district to partner with the city on the sidewalk project. So we're hoping that goes well and it benefits both the school district and the city as well. I wanted to mention to you 2 weeks ago, the Greater Warren County Economic Development Council posted a listing post for Congressman Blaine Luetkemeyer. I know a couple of the board members was able to attend. Congressman Luetkemeyer gave us some updates in Washington. The updates basically were that nothing's going on there. So we weren't, no one was surprised by that. Part of the listing post was a tour of two of the manufacturing facilities in Warrenton. One of them was Cascade Plastics. Had a chance to go through the plant. They had a 50,000 square foot addition put onto the plant. I believe, and Michelle, you might correct me, I think they hired additional 15 people.
I'm not sure.
I'm trying to recall from memory, and I can't remember the exact number. So, interesting tour. If you buy Johnsonville bratwurst, the packaging that they come on most likely was made here in Warrenton at Cascade Plastics. They pretty well make all of Johnsonville's styrofoam deals that they put their brats on. So that was interesting. The other part of the tour was SAF Holland. They toured us through the south plant. We didn't have time to do the north plant. The north plant is where most of the new structures and machinery was added. They've added 50 new jobs, and with the possibility of adding another 50 jobs before the year's out, depending on whether the owners of the company get this contract with the new company. But very, very interesting to see how they function down there and how automated it is. Their contract with the, I think it was Wabash Trailer Company, was the biggest reason for the first expansion. They make the rear axles for the trailers down at Holland, and they make the sliders that the axles go onto. And with the new contract with Wabash, they had to produce 9,000 sliders and axles within this year. And if everything went smooth, they would ask them for 18,000 next year. So that was a positive note. I enjoyed that. Let's see, Melody told me this week is local government week, and I need to remind the board that we have an employee luncheon on Thursday from 11:30 to 1:30, and it's going to be at the grounds and maintenance building up on the hill, the old, I call it the Butler building. So May 20th is Farmers Market. It will be their first day. Is that on a Thursday?
It's on a Tuesday, I believe.
You're right, it is Tuesday. So that'll be interesting to get that kicked off and see how that functions. We've turned the market back over to the original people that ran the market before, so we'll see if things progress well on that. The other thing I wanted to mention to the board, we were supposed to close on the Seeger property earlier, and we ran into a little snafu, not anything to do with the city. It was a legal situation where, in order for us to get a clear deed to the property, there needs to be a conservatory deed made up to make sure one of the family members that the money goes through the circuit court system and is appropriated and gets in the right hands there. So right now that's set for the 19th of May. And that's about all I have on that. So next thing on the agenda is the appointments to board committees, and I'll read those off. We kind of condensed some of the committees this year. The Ways and Means Committee, I want to appoint Gary Ock as chairman of that committee. Eric Sluter and Karen Casserly and Jim Dreyer will serve on there with him. Police and Personnel Committee, I've appointed John Clark as chairman, Gary Ock on that committee, Eric Sluter on there, and Tony Hawley. Infrastructure, Jim Dreyer is chairman of that committee, Tony Hawley, Karen Casserly, and John Clark. Recreation, Grounds, and Cemetery, Eric Sluter is chairman, Jim Dreyer, Karen Casserly, and Tony Hawley. On the representative to the Planning and Zoning Commission, Gary Ock. Representative to the Park Board, Tony Hawley. Representative to Tourism, Karen Casserly. These three people, I know you won't be able to make all the meetings, but I would hope that occasionally you could sit in on some of those meetings. I think it helps give direction to those boards, and I think they appreciate you being there too. We need a motion on that, or anything? Okay, so I guess I need a motion from the board to approve the mayor's appointments to the committee appointments for 2014.
So move.
Second. Who's that? Alderman Ock? Alderman Clark. Motion made to approve the mayor's committee appointment, seconded by Alderman Dreyer. Roll call, please.
Alderman Schluter?
Yes.
Alderman Holly?
Yes.
Alderperson Casterly?
Yes.
Alderman Ock?
Yes.
Alderman Clark?
Yes.
Alderman Dreyer?
Yes.
Okay, motion carried 6-0. My next appointment is on the Planning and Zoning Commission. Want to talk to the public and the board a little bit about the P&Z board. Probably one of the most important sub-boards we have in the city. Those people do a lot of work for the Board of Aldermen. They take a big weight off our shoulders. There's 10 people that serve on that board. It's great to have an extra set of eyes, look at all of our things that are coming before the city. They do all the legwork, they do the research, and they make recommendations to the board on the final topics there. The problem is, there's not a lot of people standing in line to serve on those committees. And I have difficult time finding people that are willing to donate their time and energy to the city. So when somebody steps forward and says, I would be willing to serve on that, I make myself a note and write their name down. So at this time, I have a person that has volunteered his services to serve on the board. His name is Dan Durbin. He would replace Ron Jurgesmeyer, who has tendered his resignation off of the board. Mr. Durbin's retired, semi-retired auto worker with the Chrysler auto business. He lives here in Warrenton, lives on 47, and he's also in the real estate business, has a realtor's license, and has volunteered his service to serve on the board. If any board member has people that want to serve on those boards, I would love to know about it. If you have a citizen that lives in the city and wants to volunteer their time and so forth, love to know about it. We do pay the planning and zoning people a token. I think they get $50 a month to attend the meetings and go from there. So at this time, I would consider a motion to approve the mayor's appointment to Dan Durbin to the Planning and Zoning Commission.
I make a motion to appoint Dan Durbin to the Planning and Zoning Commission.
Second.
Motion made by Alderman Clark, seconded by Alderman Dreyer to approve the mayor's appointment of Dan Durbin to the Planning and Zoning Commission. Roll call, please.
Alderman Holly?
No.
Alderperson Casterly?
No.
Alderman Ock?
Yes.
Alderman Clark?
Yes.
Alderman Dreyer?
Yes.
Alderman Schluter?
No.
We got a 3-3 tie vote. Obviously, I'm going to vote yes on that. I'll break the tie. We'll appoint Dan Durbin to the Planning and Zoning. For the record, Alderman Schluter, you want to give reason for your no vote? And my reason, let me clarify that. You know, if you have good reason why you would go the other way, I think the public needs to know it. I need to know it. If you just don't like the guy, you don't like the color of his car or where he lives, that's not a valid reason. So
No.
for public record, you have a comment on it?
Not at this time, no.
I did some calling around to some constituents, and after talking to several, thought that I should vote the way the constituents had asked me.
Okay, I can buy that on there.
And I did the same thing, but my concern was an integrity issue, because last year this time we had a permit issue for Mr. Durbin's complex on Highway 47 where he did not have a permit, and we had quite an ordeal going through that. I mean, that was right when I started on the board, and I just felt that this time that I didn't know we were doing this until we got this on Friday, and I didn't have any time to get any feedback from additional people who might be interested in filling this. And I do agree, this is a very, very important board, and that's why I wanted to take more time to see if we had other candidates.
And let me clear, or make sure I get the justice, you would rather leave that board short, a person on there? So,
I would.
Okay.
I mean,
All right.
and I do understand the difficulty, but I think, you know, we owe the public the opportunity, for those of us who know about the opportunity now. I mean, I made some calls over the weekend, too. Some people were thinking about it and just wanted to make sure everybody had a full opportunity to participate, because we always talk about engaging the public, and if they don't know the opportunity exists or what the opportunity is, then they'll never engage.
I would agree. I'm always looking, I'm always talking to the public about it. In fact, I just talked to Mr. Flake here a few minutes ago. I asked if he was about ready to get back on one of the boards. It's more difficult than you think. The just of the matter is, the public's busy, and they got families, and they just don't have the time or don't want to take the time on there. But I think when we have someone that does volunteer and says, I'm willing to give my time to the city, I think we really got to take a close look at it. So okay. So anyway, Mr. Durbin will be added to the planning and zoning, and you'll contact him and give him the update.
Can the mayor break a tie on his own appointments?
Sure. Why not? I think the only time the mayor can't break a tie is if it's a nepotism vote or a conflict of interest vote. Otherwise, he can always break it on his own appointment. In fact, we even clarified that with legal counsel, so
Okay.
I'm confident about that.
Just a question.
Okay. Next item, item 7, introduction of new employees. Let's see, who wants to do that? Am I going to do that, or?
No, I think we've got several.
Several? Okay. The first one is the building inspector, Dave Turner. Dave, welcome aboard. I had a chance to meet you the other day, and you'll be working under Jack Hamp there, right? All right, welcome aboard.
Thank you.
Next one is administrative assistant, started April 21, Samantha Dreyer. And I met Samantha the other day. Glad to have you.
Nice to meet you guys too.
Good. And the next one is equipment operator, James Bruce. Hi, James. I haven't met you, and the board, I don't know if any of us met you or not on there. Welcome aboard.
Thank you, guys.
The next one is, or you want to introduce?
Sure.
Go ahead.
Ben Hauser, a new police officer, started April 21st, and he has his parents showed up tonight as well as a surprise.
Well, good.
You're the other two old.
Welcome aboard, James.
And also Kerry Jones, and he is a police officer, and he started May 1st.
Good. And I might mention for the public, these aren't, I mean, these are new hires, but they're not, we're not adding positions, we're just filling positions where people have left or gone different directions and so forth. So we're glad to have you all working for the city and hope things work out well for you, so. Okay, let me get my machine back running. Karen must have turned it off.
Yes, that was me.
Nice to meet you, officers.
Next one here on item 8, approval of park alcoholic beverages permit, John Myers. Is Mr. Myers here or anything? Would you want to come forward, Mr. Myers? Good. I'm sure the board is going to have some questions for you.
You're a different John Myers.
Tell us about the permit. What are you requesting for?
I'm just requesting an alcohol permit for the park because I'm having a graduation party for my wife. She's graduating nursing school on the 17th, so I figured it'd be nice to have, you know, their parents bring alcohol or something like that. I don't want anybody to get in trouble. So I was doing it the right way, and I saw I had to have a permit, and so I came, did everything I could to get it.
What school is she graduating?
St. Charles Community College.
Community College, good, congratulations. So, any questions for Mr. Meyer? Permit pretty well, so you want to use the Morgan Street
Yes.
Park and Pavilion?
Yes, sorry.
And you're aware of the times and everything?
Yes.
So
Okay.
if we stop by between 12 and 9, we can get a drink.
Yes.
Sure, you'll be welcome.
I'd like to make a motion that we approve the park alcoholic beverage permit for John Myers for the date of May 17th from 12 to 9 p.m.
I'll second.
Okay, motion made by Alderman Kessley, seconded by Alderman Schluter to approve the alcoholic beverage permit for John Myers on May 17, 2014, from 12 to 9. Any discussion or more questions? I'll roll call vote then.
Alderperson Casterly?
Yes.
Alderman Ock?
Yes.
Alderman Clark?
Yes.
Alderman Dreyer?
Yes.
Alderman Schluter?
Yes.
Alderman Holly?
Yes.
Motion carried 6-0.
Enjoy
Thank
the
you.
park.
Thank you. Have a good night.
You too.
Okay.
At this time on the agenda, I want to introduce our new Boone Slip Regional Planning Commission Director, Mike Sutherland. Welcome, Mike.
Good evening, everyone. I just wanted to take a little time, and thanks for letting me have a place on the agenda just to introduce myself. Kind of appropriate that I was right behind the new employees. I'm new to Boonslick Planning, as many of you know. I started the job on April 14th, so I'm just started my 4th week, and been finding out what a lot there is to learn, but it's great to be back in the community. It's great to be with so many familiar faces, and what I wanted to do is let you know, again, a little bit about what Boonslick does, and also appreciate your membership as one of the 25 member communities, cities, and also 3 counties that are members of the Boonslick Regional Planning Commission. And I'm doing everything I can to make sure that we are going to be able to serve your needs as we have, and also serve your needs in the future if we can in anything we do. We offer a wide variety of services that I hope you'll take advantage of as members of the Boonslick Planning Commission, from grant writing, grant administration, community planning, transportation planning, mapping, business lending. I kind of brought the list because it's so long kind of reading through it, but Regional Homeland Security Administration, we do that on a district level. We also manage the solid waste district for Lincoln, Warren, and Montgomery and Franklin counties. Provide mapping services. We also provide traffic counting service. So if there's ever any time you want need traffic counting on any of your streets that aren't MoDOT related, we have the equipment to do that and provide that service. And also have provided disaster recovery assistance, and then also have the workforce, the Missouri Career Center, workforce development, which is something that I'm learning a lot about and is a significant part of our operation as well. So we do have a lot of services to offer, and we have worked with communities and counties, as you all know, throughout the region, and want to continue to do so. So if there's anything that we can do to help you all out in any of the services that we provide, please contact us and let us know, because we really want to have a good relationship with us. We're very proud that our office is located in Warrenton, and want to work with you all as you're meeting the needs of your public, and if we can help you in any way, we want to do that. So I just wanted to come and introduce myself as the new executive director. If you have any questions, concerns, communicate straight with me. That'd be great. I gave my contact information, and I can give you all a card and everything, and we're pretty easy to find. We're just up the street, so come find us and let us know what we can do. So that's all I really wanted to do. I appreciate being on the agenda, and I'd be glad to answer any questions if I can.
Michelle Slether is kind of our representative for the city. You probably know Michelle by now.
We've met. We attend a lot of the same meetings. I'm finding out in my position when I attend a lot of meetings, which is great. I'm kind of a meeting goer and have been for a while, but we've met and been at a couple of different functions. So yeah.
I can relate to going to meetings also. It seems like I spend all my time doing that. So, any questions for Mike Sutherland?
Just glad to see you aboard.
All right. Well, thank you. It's great to be back working in the community and working for the people in the community. I'm really glad to be here. So
good luck in your new position.
Thank you.
I have item 10, request for multiple road closures on June 7th. Festival of Fun, 5K run, Chamber of Commerce. Is anybody here? Oh, come on up, Jan. We're gonna not let you get by.
Oh, good. You know, I always relish a moment with you guys.
There was no sarcasm.
I have a little stage fright. Good evening, everybody. We do have our Festival of Fun coming up June 7th and 8th, and specifically June 7th is our 5K run. And it will start here, and You have the map in front of you, I hope, because I don't. Didn't come quite prepared enough, I'm sorry about that. But it will be the same as last year, and it went very well. Chief Howdy Shell had no issues, and they were very helpful during the run to kind of help direct our runners who might have gotten lost had they not been there. So I appreciate that, and hopefully we can have a good day for the run on the 7th, and none of the tornado stuff on the 6th before that.
How many board members do you need to participate from the city?
Everyone.
Well, I thought last year we just had 3.
You can walk, you can run, you can come and cheer on, or you can sit at home and say, I hope they're doing well.
They're doing well.
So
Okay.
we'll accept all.
All right. Any questions for Jan? All right. Thank you, Jan.
Thank you.
I need a motion from the board to approve the multiple road closures on June 7th.
I'll make a motion to approve the request for multiple road closures on June 7th for the Festival of Fun 5K run for the Chamber of Commerce per the request that we have on file.
Second.
Motion by Alderman Casterly, seconded by Alderman Clark, to approve the request for multiple road closures on June 7th for the Festival of Fun 5K run, Chamber of Commerce. Did I leave anything off? Any discussion or questions? Roll call, please.
Alderman Ock?
Yes.
Alderman Clark?
Yes.
Alderman Dreyer?
Yes.
Alderman Schluter?
Yes.
Alderman Holly?
Yes.
Alderperson Casterly?
Yes.
Motion carried 6-0.
Thank you.
Thank you, Jan. With the item 11 on the agenda, Jack Hamp, zoning officer and building commissioner. Good evening, Jack.
Good evening, Mayor and Board. First thing I have is on April 21st, I received a request from the Carpet Group requesting permission to extend their banner sign permit for the property located at 117-131 West Boonslick. She asked if we get a minimum 60-day extension or longer if possible. It's for leasing out the buildings.
I can't place which banner that is.
The professional building.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. I was trying to figure out where that was at.
It's one of the least offensive signs in town.
Pardon me? I didn't hear you.
I said it's one of the least offensive signs in town.
I guess I hadn't noticed it. Of course, that sets back a little bit off the street.
You would have thought, though, before they requested, they would have tied the sign down.
No.
A banner sign flopping in the wind?
What's the banner advertising?
They're trying to lease the units.
Trying to lease have rooms, extra offices to lease.
This is for 56 days.
You have any issues with that?
I do not know.
No.
I make a motion to approve the sign permit.
Second.
And what was the length of the time?
She asked for a minimum of 60 days, longer if possible.
I thought it was 56.
No, that she's had it for 56. She wants it for
56 is how many days is allowed per year.
56.
Oh, per
You want to
code.
put a time on there, Alderman Clark?
What would you recommend, Jack?
90 days?
90 days? So,
That'd give them more
be
chance.
fine with me.
Second, that's fine.
Okay. We have a motion on the floor by Alderman Clark, seconded by Alderman Dreyer, to approve the banner extension request located at 117-131 West Boonslick for 90 days. Does that sound right?
Yes,
You good with that?
I'm good.
Roll call, vote, please.
Alderman Clark?
Yes.
Alderman Dreyer?
Yes.
Alderman Schluter?
Yes.
Alderman Holly?
Yes.
Alderperson Casterly?
Yes.
Alderman Ock?
Yes.
Motion carried 6-0.
Next item I have is a site plan approval request for Extreme Terra Haunts, SP 83, to be located at 1029 Armory Road. This site plan approval request was tabled at the 4/15/14 Board of Aldermen meeting, and at your request, there's representatives from both the applicant and the fire department here this evening to answer any questions you may have for them.
Fire department have any concerns?
In the, Mike Owenby, Warrenton Fire Protection District, in the building code, also in the fire code, for special amusement buildings, there is a requirement for a sprinkler system in that, for these particular occupancies, okay? There's more detailed requirements in the building code, but the fire code echoes the need for an automatic sprinkler system, even on temporary buildings, okay? Whether it's going to be used for that year-round or not. Whether it's a temporary structure or permanent structure, no matter what it is, it has to have a sprinkler system in it if it's over 1,000 square feet. There's also the need and necessary requirement for smoke detection systems in these buildings as well. Obviously, you're putting folks into a building where you're confusing them somewhat. You're putting them in there where the exits aren't readily accessible. That's why they put the requirement for the sprinkler systems into these buildings. The exits aren't readily accessible. You're putting them in a maze. It's a haunted house. You know, you're getting them in an area where they're not familiar with. It's not well lit. So there are more stringent requirements in the building code. Where the fire code, where I have to enforce things, is the sprinkler system and the smoke detection system.
How many square foot is in that building?
The total building is 10,500 square feet. The actual haunt would be an 8,000 square feet.
8,000. Okay. So what you're telling us, the 10,000 square foot has to be sprinklered?
Correct. Anything that they use for the amusement area has to be sprinklered. The entire building doesn't necessarily have to be sprinkled. Okay, if you have, say, a sales area, okay, where you're going to sell T-shirts or whatever it may be, that area doesn't necessarily have to be sprinkled. The section that you are using for the amusement area or the haunted house in this case, that section has to be sprinkled if it's over 1,000 square feet.
Is the building currently sprinkled?
No, it's not.
Is the landlord willing to do that? I wouldn't expect the leaser to do it.
Tony, give us your name for the record.
Mayor, Board, my name is Tony Gagliano. I'm actually here on behalf of both the applicant, Davidson Enterprises, as well as the landlord group. As far as the building goes, the landlords are in the process. We've sent over a couple different systems that may work to satisfy the requirements. So at this point, we're just trying to get the site plan approved because of a timing process with getting everything advertising-wise and move forward. But yes, the landlords are looking into what avenues they can do to improve the building to make sure that it's going to comply and that everybody's satisfied.
So it is, when you say to improve the building, are you saying they're considering putting sprinkler systems?
I've sent over different systems and everything for them to look at this point. They haven't given me any information at this point. They've said to me, let's get through the site plan before we start stepping into the next step of going through the process of getting sprinkler bids and that type of situation. They said, let's, if the site's not going to get approved, then there's no reason to go down that path to go ahead and sprinkler a building that doesn't require to be sprinklered other than for this particular use.
But Tony, do they understand from a life safety issue that this is an important
Well, absolutely, and in the original plan, the gentleman that's actually doing this has 21 years of law enforcement history. All the walls are fire retardant, and we met with Mike 2 years ago, but we're under the awareness that the building code had been adopted and changed, and with that time, everything's sprayed fire retardant, all the smoke detectors are into place, the extinguishers are in place. The sprinkler just came about and just caught us off guard as of late. We didn't go back through and relook at the building code from when we first started this process to get through the system. So everybody's aware of the need for safety, and that's not going to be skirted for any reason.
So can it be approved with conditional use approved, condition 2, the sprinkler? Is that?
You still have, I'm sorry, you still have a process that you'll have to go through, that Jack will have to go through for, and we will have to go through for a building permit.
Okay.
When they get to the point of constructing and modifying the interior of the building, that's where this all comes into play. I just wanted to make you all aware, and
as well as myself, you want to make sure we were aware of it as well.
That you were aware that if you continue through this process, it can be approved at this stage.
Okay.
Without a problem. But I didn't want them to get a hang up later on down the road when they came to apply for a building permit with the city and also with the fire district and say, guess what? Now you got to put a sprinkler system in this building. We've ran into this before. We've had this issue with one building in particular. We've had it multiple times, where they go through the process, then they come to us and we say, based upon the occupancy, you've got to put a sprinkler system in.
So it sounds like we're doing it the right way.
Yeah, we're starting with getting the site approved, because once the site's approved, then we can start going down the path with, the different build. And we've got an outside, out-of-state company that comes in and actually does the construction. They've got a manual, they're looking into it, so we're trying to figure out all the different avenues, so that at this point, all we're asking for is approve the site, so that we can go to the next step.
Okay. And so we will be voting on that under item 15, bills.
The site plan approval, yeah, and then the ordinance for approval of site plan.
So is there any
Building permit would be
conditions that the
separate.
P and Z put on the site plan?
If I may, the
only condition was
the
that
fire department,
that
which
they
will
meet
come
the fire
down through the
department's
occupancy
requirements.
process.
Chief Holmby? If they don't meet the requirements later on, I mean, I understand the process we're going through, but you still have the capabilities of doing what you need to do as far as shutting it down. You need to do.
And if they don't meet the requirements of the sprinkler, I will not issue a building permit for the construction. I can't.
And we're fully aware of that.
Because I cannot, I will not.
So there's enough fail-safes in between.
And the city would not issue an occupancy permit
Yes.
either.
We will not issue an occupancy permit or a building permit. Number one, a building permit will never happen unless it's sprinkled. Okay? Not from our standpoint now.
And we're fully aware of that. That's why we're just, at this point, we're just trying to do this site plan. And I apologize for not making the April meeting. There was a miscommunication with one of my clients, so.
I understand.
Did the zoning board, I guess Tony, you were on at the time, did the zoning board discuss any limitations relative to hours? Or is that typically not covered under site plan? Hours of operation?
I don't believe that's under site.
They did not put any restrictions on the hours. I don't recall them having much detailed discussion about it. He mainly was talking about how many weeks it was going to go, and
What typically hours do you go?
As far as I know, on the weekends would be the only late hours. And again, and I'm speaking without actually having had that exact conversation. We've talked broadly about it. I believe it's either midnight or 1 o'clock. So it would be within the same time as last call or from a bar situation as well. Because the last thing he wants is last call, the bar's empty out, and all of a sudden we've got a line full of drunks that have just come from a bar to come into there. So within that, the weekends would be that, and then, most likely, it will only be open 7 days a week, the last 2 weeks of October. Other than that, it'll just be a weekend business the first part.
And I think we're all in Knox going with the noise deal. Is the noise going to be confined to
Completely
inside the
contained
building?
inside of the building. There'll be no loudspeakers on the outside of the parking lot whatsoever. The noise that would be out there would strictly be coming from the patrons standing out in the lines. But other than that, there will be no projection of loudspeakers on the outside of the building.
And I think that's where you were asking, because there's
houses. There's homes behind here, and
It's a pretty good distance.
well, it's still, but you can still hear noise. At 11 o'clock at night, sound travels.
If you had any loudspeakers, and I understand, and I've already confirmed that with him, and Mr. Davis says absolutely not. There'll be everything will be contained on the inside of the building.
Right.
Any other questions? Any board members? Entertain a motion.
Well,
got a
there's no
bill.
motion, there's a bill at the end.
Bill at the end.
There's a bill at the end.
Oh, okay, that's right, I forgot the ordinance on that. Okay, thank you, Tony.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mike. Director of Operations, you're up, Tony, or Terry?
My first item for you this evening is to request approval of the printing bids for the upcoming year. We received bids from 3 companies that met the bid specifications. Of those, the low bid was actually a company, Miller's Minuteman Press, out of Maryland. When you add the estimated shipping cost to that company, their total estimated shipping cost is $725, which makes their total $6,203, and that's based upon the number of shipments that we received last year. for printing. So my recommendation is that we go with Missouri Publishing out of Washington, Missouri, who would be the low bidder after considering shipping at $6,186.55.
Make a motion to approve Missouri Publishing Company from Washington, Missouri for the city printing bid for a total of $6,186.55.
I second.
Motion made by Alderman Kessley, seconded by Alderman Hawley to accept the, actually would be the low bid then, of Missouri Publishing Company in the amount of $6,186.55. Any discussion? Roll call, please.
Alderman Dreyer?
Yes.
Alderman Schluter?
Yes.
Alderman Holly?
Yes.
Alderperson Casterly?
Yes.
Alderman Ock?
Yes.
Alderman Clark?
Yes.
Motion carried 6-0.
And the only other thing I have under operational updates, I believe Greg has something he'd like to share with the board.
Just an update on the Tippecanoe event that we had on April 25th. Huge success. We made about $3,500 that will go right to Special Olympics Missouri. Everybody seemed to have a good time. The general manager at Applebee said it was one of the best Friday nights he's had in a long time. So, we did a good job of getting some extra people in there, and as I said, everybody seemed to have a good time, and it went for a great cause. So, thank you to all who showed up, and no, I'm sorry you didn't win the iPad.
I needed another one.
And just to reiterate, May 28th is the torch run. We'll be starting in Forestville around 9:45 and should arrive here at City Hall close to 12:30 if all goes to plan.
12:30?
Yes. That's it.
Okay.
That's all I
Anything else?
have.
Please.
Thank you.
Michelle Slinther, Economic Development Director.
Good evening. The first item I have for you is my reports. And on the Economic Development Update from Warren County, Greater Warren County Economic Development Council, if you'd please note that they are changing their board meetings. They're going to look at doing those quarterly instead of monthly, so you'll only be seeing an update from me from them quarterly instead of monthly.
Are they still having that, like a luncheon? Are they going to move it to the evening?
They're looking into that. They're thinking of maybe doing a luncheon, do it in the evening, possibly do it prior to the quarterly contributors meeting. So that's something that they're kind of looking into and still fine tuning at this point.
Okay. Any questions for Michelle in regards to this?
Well, the most common question I get is what's going on with the old Kentucky Fried Chicken location? Anything?
I have had numerous individuals contact me. I think part of the problem with that location is that it is actually, the land is owned by one individual and the building is leased by another individual, and he has a long-term lease on the building. Recently, and just very recently, he actually put up a sign for lease on the building, but I have had people contacting me and I have been forwarding them on to him. And I know we did have someone out here looking at the building, and they won't tell me exactly what they're looking to do, have an idea. But we have had several people that I have forwarded on to him. But that's the big problem is one person owns it, one person leasing it for 100 years. So.
What else, Michelle?
The next item I have for you is I would like approval to apply for the TRIM grant. This is the Tree Resource Improvements and Maintenance Grant, and we're going to apply for this to get some funding to cut down dead trees at the cemetery and in our parks.
I'll make a motion to approve applying for the TRIM grant.
Second.
Motion by Alderman Clark, seconded by Alderman Dreyer to approve to apply for a TRIM grant. Roll call.
Alderman Schluter?
Yes.
Alderman Holly?
Yes.
Alderperson Casterly?
Yes.
Alderman Ock?
Yes.
Alderman Clark?
Yes.
Alderman Dreyer?
Yes.
Motion carried 6-0. Mike picked a good time to show up tonight when we're debating whether we're going to pay our bills or not.
The next item I have for you is request to pay the 2014 dues for Boone Slick Regional Planning Commission, and that's in the amount of $1,352.
3,000.
I'm sorry, $3,152.
I like your number better. Is that up from last year?
No, it was the same, I believe, last year. It went up the year before after they did the 2010 census and our population increased. This is based on the population.
Any questions, or? I know the one question is, are we getting our money's worth out of Boone Slick? So we'll leave that up to you to see whether we get the biggest bang for our buck there. We'll let you know at the end of the year.
And we're glad that, just kind of anything that we can do, let us know, and we'll try to do it, because, we really want to serve the city and provide the services that we can and be as beneficial as you guys as we can. So we want you to feel very good about getting the most bang for your buck. So,
okay.
If you're not, let me know, and I'll try to fix that. So.
I make a motion to approve the Boones Lick Regional Planning Commission dues for 2014 in the amount of $3,152.
Second.
Motion by Alderman Clark, seconded by Alderman Dreyer to approval to pay Boone Slick Regional Planning Commission dues for 2014 in the amount of $3,152. Any further discussion? Roll call, please.
Alderman Holly?
Yes.
Alderperson Casterly?
Yes.
Alderman Ock?
Yes.
Alderman Clark?
Yes.
Alderman Dreyer?
Yes.
Alderman Schluter?
Yes.
Motion carried 6-0. What about the billboards?
And the last item I have for you tonight is billboards. Would like to request approval to go with Lamar Advertising.
Are the billboards paid out of the tourist fund?
Yes.
What are we putting on the billboards?
We put different special events. We have put in the past Auto Fest, Farmers Market, citywide yard sale, and then currently it has up like Stop in Warrenton and different items that we have. The chamber in the past has utilized it for their events. Hometown Christmas has utilized it, the WDA.
That Stop in Warrenton sign is a pet peeve of mine because it's a negative sign which doesn't bode positive for Warrenton. I get what they're trying to say, but when you hear the word stop, it means avoid. And that kind of gives me a negative view of what we're trying to do. I'm not against the sign, I just don't like
The verbiage.
the verbiage.
It's better than saying, don't stop.
Yes, it is.
Assignment.
I'd rather they say, welcome, or
Welcome.
come here, or enjoy Warrenton, or, yeah.
Or please stop.
Yeah.
Something. I think I've told you this before, and I understand our predicament. When we're taking bids, it's hard to negotiate a billboard cost. And I don't know how you get around that. I mean, I've negotiated billboards with them, and they will work and deal and all kinds of things. But when you ask for a bid, now you're asking everybody to play the same game, and I don't know how you can avoid that. So I think we're stuck with accepting the lowest bid, our best bid. So it's your recommendation that we accept the Lamar
Yes, sir.
bid? Any discussion to the board or questions?
I'll make a motion that we approve the Lamar Advertising billboard bid for $20,680 annually.
I'll second it.
Motion by Alderman Castley, seconded by Alderman Schluter to accept the Lamar Advertising Company bid for billboards in the amount of $20,680. Is that the right amount?
Yes.
Any other discussion? Roll call, please.
Alderperson Casterly?
Yes.
Alderman Ock?
Yes.
Alderman Clark?
Yes.
Alderman Dreyer,
Yes.
Alderman Schluter,
Yes.
Alderman Holly.
Yes.
Motion carried 6-0. Anything else, Michelle?
That's all I have for you this evening. Thank you.
Thank you. Gabrielle Curry, Finance Director.
Good evening.
Good evening.
The first item I have is the accounts payable, which is the monthly list of invoices. I'm requesting payment in the amount of $233,363.83.
Make a motion to approve the bills in the amount of $233,363.83.
Second.
Motion made by Alderman Ock, second by Alderman Kessley to approve accounts payable in the amount of $233,363.83. Any questions or discussions? Roll call, please.
Alderman Ock,
Yes.
Alderman Clark,
Yes.
Alderman Dreyer,
Yes.
Alderman Schluter,
Yes.
Alderman Holly,
Yes.
Alderperson Casterly.
Yes.
Motion carried 6-0.
The next item I have is the financial statement reports for the month of March. You will notice in here the sales tax for March is 3% above budget, and April looks like it came in at 3% above as well.
I noticed that the revenues off of the sewer, it seemed like before we were always way ahead of budget because we were getting extra fees from Coke plant. That's apparently stopped because there's not a big budget variance anymore, or do we budget for it?
We budgeted what we believed was
Okay.
going to be the industrial sewer, and they are running very close to what we thought they would.
Okay, but it hasn't backed down, because it looks like there's a lot of construction going on at the plant there west. Is that related to the sewer, or is it?
They are
Yeah.
revamping their sewer treatment
Okay.
facility at the plant. I know Guy's been in contact with them about what those renovations are. So I don't know if they're doing some other construction to the plant, but I know they're in the process of working on their sewer processing system.
Coca-Cola is probably our largest water user, and probably has been
For years.
For years and years.
And for a long time, the largest sewer user.
And they
That's
still
gotten
are.
better.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Well, the flow coming into the plant, our plant is getting significantly better than what it was.
Yes.
So you had major issues with it before.
And I think that's because they take the solids and make it into cakes
Right.
and pull it out before it gets to our sewer and put it in a landfill.
Yeah, they put significant dollars into the pre-treatment.
Yes.
Before it comes down into our plant, so that's
Yes.
made a difference.
What else you got?
I thought it was kind of interesting reading through this, and I talked to Terry about this. If you'll notice that the revenues from the court are down, and the revenues to the police department are down, and the number of officers we have are down, so I guess there's a direct correlation between having people on the street and writing tickets.
Yes, there is.
Because the public always says, oh, we write more and more tickets, but you can't say that now because we haven't had the officers on the street.
Right.
That was interesting to see, you could just see the progression of things dropping in the budget variance because of lack of staff.
Exactly. Are you at full strength now?
Well, we will be for a minute. Officer Pugh is going to be leaving for Sunset Hills, so we've got to process ramp back up to try to fill that slot.
We just have that constant rollover.
Well, guys find a better opportunity, or so they think, elsewhere, and
Sure.
better money, so.
Comes and goes in phases.
I understand it. Any other questions for Gabrielle?
Okay, the next item, I'm sorry?
Go ahead, I'm sorry.
Okay, the next item I have is the health insurance waiver reimbursements. This has to do with the policy that we have that in regards to full-time and part-time eligible employees that have health coverage through another entity. And so if they waive for the whole fiscal year, then the policy says they get half of the cost of a single user employee. So I'm requesting approval to reimburse these individuals on the June 6th payroll per the policy.
John has no problems with all of them except the first person listed.
I'll make a motion to approve the health insurance waiver reimbursements for payment on Friday, June the 6th, in a total of $11,859.12.
I'll second that.
Motion by Alderman Casterly, seconded by Alderman Sluter to approve the health insurance waiver reimbursement in the amount of $11,859.12. Any other discussion, concerns? Roll call, please.
Alderman Clark?
Yes.
Alderman Dreyer?
Yes.
Alderman Schluter?
Yes.
Alderman Holly?
Yes.
Alderperson Casterly?
Yes.
Alderman Ock?
Yes.
Motion carried 6-0.
Thank you, that's all I have.
That's all. Thank you, Gabrielle.
Can I ask you a quick one? How did the demo go in the software?
I haven't been able to do that yet.
Oh, okay.
We're hoping to do that this week, though.
We've got some bills to convert over to ordinances. First bill is number 25.
Can we recruit Fred to help us with this? Call for the first reading of bill.
Wait a minute. Are you all done talking?
We were just, yes.
Yeah.
Now I'm ready.
We're sorry.
You are, I'm not.
Call for the first reading of bill number 25-14.
Second.
First, motion made by Alderman Clark, seconded by Alderman Dreyer for first reading of bill number 25-14.
A zoning ordinance as authorized under section 405.390 of the municipal code of the city of Warrenton, Missouri, approving a site plan for extreme terror haunts located at 1029 Armory Road.
Call for second and final reading and passage of bill number 25-14.
Second.
Motion by Alderman Dreyer, seconded by Alderman Clark for first reading, or second reading and final reading and passage of bill number 25-14.
A zoning ordinance as authorized under section 405.390 of the municipal code of the city of Warrenton, Missouri, approving a site plan for extreme terror haunts located at 1029 Armory Road.
Roll call, please.
Alderman Dreyer?
Yes.
Alderman Schluter?
Yes.
Alderman Holly?
Yes.
Alderperson Casterly?
Yes.
Alderman Ock?
Yes.
Alderman Clark?
Yes.
Motion carried 6-0. Bill number 27-14.
Call for the first reading of bill number 27-14.
Second.
Motion by Alderman Clark, seconded by Alderman Casterly for first reading of bill number 27-14.
An ordinance confirming and approving the purchase of 3.27 acres located on Willow Road, Warrenton, Missouri, from Bradley and Laura Seeger.
Call for a second final reading and passage of bill number 27-14.
Second.
Did I hear a second?
Yes.
Okay. Motion by Alderman Dreyer, seconded by Alderman Sluter for second final reading and passage of bill number 27-14.
An ordinance confirming and approving the purchase of 3.27 acres located on Willow Road, Warrenton, Missouri, from Bradley and Laura Seeger.
Roll call, please.
Alderman Schluter?
Sorry. Yes.
Alderman Holly?
Yes.
Alderperson Casterly?
Supposed to be on this bill? Yes.
Alderman Ock?
Yes.
Alderman Clark?
Yes.
Alderman Dreyer?
Yes.
Motion carried 6-0.
I just want to make sure that, when it's Brad and Laura Seeger, that Amy and...
The other one.
Oh, sorry.
You got another one coming.
Sorry.
Okay.
I'm sorry.
Your question answered.
Yes, thank you. Sorry about
Okay.
that.
I'm at item 15C, bill number 28-14.
Call for first reading of bill number 2814.
Second.
Motion by Alderman Casterly, seconded by Alderman Clark for first reading of bill number 28-14.
An ordinance confirming and approving the purchase of 16.44 acres located at 267 Willow Road, Warrenton, Missouri.
Call for a second final reading of bill number 28-14.
Second.
Motion by Alderman Dreyer, seconded by Alderman Casterly for second and final reading and passage of bill number 28-14.
An ordinance confirming and approving the purchase of 16.44 acres located at 267 Willow Road, Warrenton, Missouri.
Roll call, please.
Alderman Holly?
Yes.
Alderperson Casterly?
Yes.
Alderman Ock?
Yes.
Alderman Clark?
Yes.
Alderman Dreyer?
Yes.
Alderman Schluter?
Yes.
Motion carried 6-0. Item 15D, bill number 29-14.
Call for first reading of bill number 2914.
Second.
Motion by Alderman Casterly, seconded by Alderman Clark for first reading of bill number 29-14.
An ordinance to authorize the mayor to sign a contract between the city of Warrenton, Missouri and Lamar Companies for billboards.
Got this.
Call for second, you got it?
I was going to go ahead and take it, please, so you can rest. You've been doing a lot of work.
Go ahead.
Call for second and final reading of bill number 29-14.
Second.
Motion by Alderman Schluter, seconded by Alderman Hawley for second and final reading and passage of bill number 29-14.
An ordinance to authorize the mayor to sign a contract between the city of Warrenton, Missouri and Lamar Companies for billboards.
Roll call, please.
Alderperson Casterly?
Yes.
Alderman Ock?
Yes.
Alderman Clark?
Yes.
Alderman Dreyer?
Yes.
Alderman Schluter?
Yes.
Alderman Holly?
Yes.
Motion carried 6-0.
Can I make a comment for the general public?
Yes, you may.
The reason we're all having a hard time with this is for 18 years, Fred had the second call of every bill.
You're right.
So we're just kind of out of sync on the board.
Jim's kind of taking over.
He is, but that's what's going on up here.
At this time, entertain a motion to move to executive session to discuss personnel, security measures, and real estate.
So moved.
Second.
Motion by Alderman Casterly, second by Alderman Dreyer to move to executive session for personnel, security measures, and real estate. Roll call, please.
Alderman Ock?
Yes.
Alderman Clark?
Yes.
Alderman Dreyer?
Yes.
Alderman Schluter?
Yes.
Alderman Holly?
Yes.
Alderperson Casterly?
Yes.
We're adjourned to executive.